This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Today I have a fun video. We're going to go back in time to 2018 when this headline was flashed on the front page and seen all around the world. By any chance, did anyone notice who wrote this article? It was none other than propagandist Jack Royston. Here he writes, royal newbie Meghan left Kate in tears over her demands for Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid's dress. It emerged yesterday. Rumors of a rift between the duchesses swirled last night after royal sources revealed emotional Kate, 36, ended up weeping. An insider claimed the incident followed a stressful dress fitting, just weeks before Meghan, 37, married Prince Harry. Royal aides did not deny the incident had taken place amid claims the duchesses are very different people. Even though Jack stole the headlines globally, making it look as if he broke this story, he actually didn't. It was actually Camilla Tomini that broke this story, and she called the Sun newspaper out on Twitter, seen here. This was the actual article that broke this story, and in it, Camilla writes, "The Telegraph has spoken to two separate sources who claim Kate was left in tears following a bridesmaid dress fitting for Princess Charlotte. Kate had only just given birth to Prince Louis and was feeling quite emotional," said one insider. The incident happened around the time Meghan was reported to have also upset the Queen by asking to wear an emerald tiara instead of the one offered by the 92-year-old monarch. It came after a book by veteran royal journalist Robert Jobson described Harry as petulant and short-tempered in the build-up to the Windsor Castle wedding. So it was this little weasel, who I like to call the ferret, who was responsible for sensationalizing this crying story. Of course, we know that that headline didn't sit well with Meghan, so in 2021, what is she going to do?
In her interview, Meghan says that Kate made her cry in a dispute over flower girl dresses.
She owned it and she apologized and she brought me flowers.
Now, I've always said that whenever Meghan tells her lies, there's always one small element of truth that she leaves in. In my honest opinion, I do think Catherine did make Meghan cry. And I also think that Meghan made Catherine cry. But there's a difference. Catherine didn't deliberately do anything to Meghan. She just didn't want to be Meghan's friend. She didn't want to hang out with her. Catherine had her own life going on. Let's not forget, in the very beginning, Catherine was pregnant. She was working. She had two other children that she was taking care of. She didn't have time to get close to Meghan and tell her her deepest and darkest secrets over getting manis and petties. Meghan felt slighted. And then on top of it, the way that Meghan was behaving with the staff and Catherine having to say something, obviously Meghan has internalized that and probably threw a fit, ending up crying on the floor, as she does so many times over. In Lady C's book, Meghan and Harry, The Real Story, she writes, Meghan was quick to complain to Harry when he introduced her to his brother that William had recoiled from her embrace, ignoring the fact that most people, whether British royalty, European aristocracy, ordinary or extraordinary Americans, would have bristled upon being introduced to a stranger who launched herself at them, invading their personal space to seize a hold in the form of a hug, the way Meghan did with William. She also complained that Catherine, who was otherwise occupied with her young children, was not present to meet her, notwithstanding the fact that only the most unreasonable of egoists would have expected a mother to stop what she was doing with her young children and to return home to receive a girlfriend who might be a passing fling. But Meghan never forgives nor forgets a slight, real or imagined. And that's the key point. Meghan had been filing away all these little incidents that she felt were slights or against her, and she allowed it to fester. I do believe Tina Brown does write about an awkward instance where Meghan was going shopping and she bumped into Catherine, and it turned out that Catherine went shopping at the same place, and Meghan felt upset that Catherine didn't offer her a ride. And, at the time, Perhaps maybe Catherine didn't want to be seen with Meghan because of the worldwide storm that she brings onto herself when she calls the paparazzi. Catherine is very low key and she didn't want any of the chaos and mayhem coming out, especially if they were seen together. And that's totally understandable, but Meghan saw that as it being a slight. Add that to the public outings in which Catherine doesn't really strike up conversation with Meghan, nor does it appear that she wants to stand next to her. I mean, you see this early on. Catherine is not feeling Meghan one bit. And, it's unfortunate that they had to put on this show as the Fab Four, but realize that was all for PR purposes. Behind the scenes, I firmly believe that it was Meghan who was crying like almost every single day. And the conversation probably went something like this. H, why doesn't Kate like me? Is it because I'm a black woman? She's racist. And like going on and on, saying that she's making all these attempts and this is how she's being treated. Now, I do think between Catherine reprimanding Meghan for the way that she was treating the staff and William and Catherine not rolling out Meghan's red carpet to embrace her and welcome her into the family in the manner that she expected to be welcomed, did fester inside for Meghan to a point where Meghan, the wretched evil woman that she is, takes it out on little Charlotte by bullying her during the dress fitting. And I think this is where Catherine had enough because I want to say that these flowers that Catherine had offered to Meghan most likely were given to Meghan as a result of Harry probably saying to Catherine, my girlfriend doesn't feel welcome. She's going to be my wife soon. She's sobbing every day on the floor because you won't be friends with her, And I think Catherine genuinely felt bad and did go offer this olive branch of flowers, to which Meghan, what does she go and do? She slams the door in Catherine's face.
She owned it and she apologized and she brought me flowers.
But a report in the Respected Times of London claims there was much more to the story Meghan didn't talk about. Meghan slammed the door in Kate's face when she went to deliver the flowers, according to the article. Kate was told in no uncertain terms it was not enough.
So fast forward, the dress fitting happens and Catherine has made the attempts, and here she is now bullying her own daughter. Of course, she probably had been fed up and started crying. She was also pregnant, and emotions most likely took its toll on Catherine, and she broke down. Now, this is just me speculating based off of all the information that's out there and drawing my own conclusion. I don't think we'll ever know the real full story about what happened. I think Meghan and Catherine are going to go to their grave on what really happened that day. And so be it. One thing is for sure, and this is before Meghan bullied Charlotte, is that Catherine did not like Meghan and saw her for who she was from the word go. Let me point out a couple things that I don't think anybody has picked up on yet that shows that Catherine was definitely not feeling Meghan and was quite irritated with her during this Fab Four outing that they had. At this point, in February of 2018, the cracks were starting to show, and you can see a little bit of that on Harry's face. I do believe at this point the brothers were fighting, or Harry was pissed off with William because he suggested he slow it down with that girl. In any case, all three of them come in with the sociopath, pretending everything's all hunky-dory. And as you can see, Harry's fidgeting and he gives this look to Meghan like, here we go. The event kicks off with William getting up to kick the forum off with his speech. Now, what I'm going to point out now are the subtle side glances that Meghan and Catherine keep giving each other throughout this session. Catherine doesn't look at Meghan the way that Meghan looks at Catherine. Catherine glances quickly over at Meghan because she feels Meghan when she looks at her. And you can see how they subtly do it. Catherine knows this, and she is purposely not turning her head to engage with Meghan. It almost looks as if she is deliberately turned away from Meghan to prevent any type of eye contact or interaction, and I do think it does bother her on a subconscious level as you see Meghan start to fidget, and she does glance over at Catherine. William kicks off the speech, and he acknowledges Meghan now becoming a part of their team. To which Meghan is elated that people are clapping, and she is like, all eyes on me now.
since 2011, we established the foundation.
Did anyone notice how Catherine passively ignored Meghan? And Meghan noticed it, and she's not pleased. Watch again. Catherine claps along with the audience quickly and keeps this plastic smile on her face. This is the most inauthentic smile I think I've ever seen Catherine give. Look how quickly that smile wiped off Catherine's face. In addition, Meghan does say something to Catherine, and Catherine does not say a word, but just keeps smiling and turns her head. And that's what pisses Meghan off. You see, look how quickly Catherine's face changes. You can see Harry's gaze is spacing out into the audience as if there's something else on his mind, not paying attention to what William's saying. I think on purpose. I do believe Catherine feels Meghan's demonic presence sitting next to her. That's why she gives these quick little side glances. She looks legitimately worried. Watch this again. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Pay attention to Kate's glances with Meghan's glances. Everybody knows that feeling when someone is staring at you. You can feel the heat on your neck when somebody's doing that. Look at how creepy this is. We've all been there. It's a feeling you have of this dark energy of someone watching you. That's what Meghan's emitting, and I think Catherine really does feel it. I'll say this now, Meghan has demon energy. That's what I see coming out of her. I mean, it sure looks like Catherine is very uncomfortable and worried, as if she just wants to get out of there. And for context, William is not giving a serious speech. He's just talking about how far they've come, and you can see Harry, look at him smiling. To me, it looks like something else is on her mind. Combined with being pregnant and possibly tired, she just looks miserable. I think at the same time, she's irritated that Meghan keeps staring at her. And you know Meghan's staring at her because as soon as Catherine turns her head, Meghan quickly turns away to not get caught. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? This is some creepy shit. You can see Catherine's eyes quickly shift over. Ugh, I feel for Catherine. Meghan, why are you so obsessed? What's wrong with you? I don't think these three were paying attention to what William was saying. Harry clearly is not. Catherine looks like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, and Meghan just looks like she's saying inside of her head, pretend that you're interested. Look and act interested. Here is an excerpt from Tom Bauer's book Revenge on what was going down at this moment. He writes, "Right now, enthuse Meghan to the audience. With so many campaigns like Me Too and Time's Up, there's no better time to continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people supporting them." She continued to the cameras, "You'll often hear people say, well, you're helping people find their voice. And I fundamentally disagree with that because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen." Ignoring Kate's frozen expression, Meghan spoke about inclusivity and diversity. She spoke with conviction about her virtuous thoughts to end universal injustice and of her protests about the number of scenes in Suits that required her to emerge from a shower wearing a towel. She posed as the trailblazer, fighting for what she believed, as the feminist princess of our dreams who boldly pronounced Harry to be a feminist. The audience's reaction was mixed. Many of the young were impressed, but to many others, women in Britain did not appear to be silenced. Indeed, the monarch, the prime minister, the president of the Supreme Court, and many senior civil servants, industrialists, and media editors were women. Moreover, Meghan was only sitting on the platform, as she later liked to say, as a mother, feminist, and advocate because of Harry. Marriage would make her rich and titled, but not famous because of any personal achievement. She was piloting an unscripted storyline way beyond Rachel Zane's scope. While Meghan spoke, Harry spotted William's rictus grin. Virtue signaling from a platform ignored the royals' role in partiality to foster national unity. She had not been invited to join the Royal Foundation to reinvent the royal family's customs. Meghan, William silently feared, did not understand that the public expected mystique, not familiarity. Was she trying to upstage Kate? Did she realize that there was a pecking order in the constitutional monarchy? As hard as she might try, Meghan could not win because Kate would be the queen and Meghan would remain a duchess. Catherine and William were not too happy about it, and you see the demeanor of Catherine and William when they go to sit down. I want to point this out. The whole time that Catherine was sitting down I want to point this out. I don't think this is something. I want to point something out that hasn't been addressed yet. The whole time that they were sitting in the audience, Catherine, whether it be subconsciously, was protecting her bump and asserting her dominance in that chair. The whole entire time Catherine's sitting in the audience, she has her hands clasped above her bump, making sure that she hogs the armrest so Megan doesn't put her arm or touches her. I think it's a dominant move, and it also, I think, subconsciously is protecting her baby. What we're going to see in this clip is how annoyed William and Catherine are after Megan had just got on her soapbox to talk about women don't need to find a voice, they have a voice, and they should use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. Watch what happens.
I just want to say, you guys. I remember going to the launch of Heads Together back in May 2016, and I was quite ill when I went. And it took my breath away. It took my breath away to see three people of such influence talking about a subject like mental health, and just thinking how different things are going to be for my daughter's generation. And what you did was extraordinary. You took your voices and you allowed people that had voices but didn't feel they had the power to use them. Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to you.
Did you catch what this woman said? Watch Megan's face as she says it. It's almost as if Megan is saying in her head, look, they're listening to me. And watch Catherine and William. They're annoyed because this woman on stage literally took Megan's words and applied it to their work.
And what you did was extraordinary. You took your voices and you allowed people that had voices but didn't feel they had the power to use them. Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to you.
God, what a nightmare this woman turned out to be. Look at Catherine's face. Is like, great. And then Megan's smiling like, you see, I'm going to change the monarchy. Already, I'm doing it right here. What's really funny and interesting is watch William, too. At the same time with Catherine, both of them give Megan the side eye as this woman is regurgitating Megan's empowering speech. Oh my God, look at the... And then, oh my God. That's it, folks. They really couldn't stand her. Look at their faces. Ooh, absolute nightmare. I truly feel sorry for this family that they had to endure this and still are enduring it. Anyhow, that's all I got for you today. Definitely let me know your thoughts. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.